Hi, this is John, and I'm here to do a quick review Panasonic Lumix FZ2500 hybrid camera. Now, this is a great camera, and I really like it. And I also have a Lumix FZ200, which is also a great camera, 1080p. This is 4K, and a lot of people like the 4K feature. Now, this has a 1-inch CMOS sensor, which is really good. I'd like to discuss how this camera can be either improved or it's just lacking stuff. The biggest thing for me is what it needs improvement is where they place the video record button. So if you're outside, there's no way you're gonna use this, this flip screen. Naturally, it's a really good flip screen. I'm using a flip screen now on my Sony RX10. Case like this, if you're outside and you're using this, 480 millimeter lens, and you're not gonna shoot like this, you're gonna shoot like this to get the best shot, find your subject, hone in on it and shoot, right? You're gonna be like this, you're gonna look for your subject and you're gonna try to zoom in and focus on it. But so now if you're here for shooting, images, stills, you're good because your finger is right here. If you need to if you wanna go to video, and you're like this, you have to find that button and you can't even feel it. I mean, here's the one of the functions, function 4. This has a lot of different functions you can set up because you have, 4, here's 5, here's 6, here's 7, here's 1, 2, and 3. What I really like about it is it has the ND filter. That's awesome. I used it. I did some test footage. It's really good. I mean, it works great. The Sony doesn't have that, and that's a big complaint. Like the 10.2 has it, then they took it out of the 10.3 for whatever reason. They took it out. Maybe they're gonna reintroduce it, in the 10.4 or 12, whatever. But they took it out. This has the mic jack, headphone jack. The screen flips out, and this is one of the biggest reasons why people buy this camera is for this screen right here. I mean, if it wasn't for the screen. And the $350 difference in price from the Sony, everybody would buy the Sony. If the Sony had a flip out screen like this versus that little tilt down screen, a lot more people would buy this camera. They would just jump, they would jump all over the Sony camera. So at the price point, this camera could be $500 less than the Sony, and what you're missing is a little bit of range. That's about it. The lenses are gonna be decent, for what they are. For what they are, the lenses are gonna be similar, the sensors are similar, and it's just a matter of, having this ND filter and this flip out screen is why a lot of people like this camera better than the Sony. But Sony has a better record button because if you're shooting video like this, right? Or you're on a monopod and you're holding your monopod and you're holding your camera and you wanna shoot your image, the Sony button is right here. And then you can shoot images right here. So you're shooting this way, not moving your finger like this. Okay, you're gonna get used to it, but I was out and I was trying to shoot, birds, which are pretty hard to shoot, especially birds this big, I mean, and I'm waiting, I waited about an hour for the bird, for this one particular yellow bird. 2 of them pop out and I'm getting on it and I'm fiddling to find this record button. I just couldn't find it. It was killing me. And then I finally got the bird. I'm on it. Bam, my batteries dies. I got maybe a minute of the bird after finding the bird, zooming in on it, the camera focusing on it, and me finding this record button. I only got minimal minimal footage of the bird, perched on a branch. I believe that if I had my record button here, or even here, however they want to do it, and I would have been more prepared, more stable to shoot that. This is one of the biggest things that I'm really not happy about with this camera. Although I like the camera because it's in my price range, it's got a great zoom lens, it's got the ND filter, the flip out screen, there's a lot of things that are really good about it. So what's another downfall of even the Sony and this camera? And let's say the Nikon 900, the Canon, whatever the Canon has. And that's The battery, the battery's underneath. The battery life isn't that good. And a lot of people are going to use these cameras for video today. A lot of people shooting video. I have a still camera, a Canon 5D Mark II. I could use that for stills if I really wanted to. I mean, if I want to go out and shoot stills with this, I can too. But, it's going to eat up the battery. And what I really like about my Canon is that I have a battery grip with 2 batteries that stick in the side, and I can shoot all day with that. And even if I needed to change the batteries, it's 1, 2, 3. Open the back, boom, pop the batteries in. I can even put AA's in there, which is a positive feature of having a grip. Not only that, when I hold the camera, my pinky, I have to either tuck it under like this, and that's the same thing with the Sony. Sony's not like ahead of it in ergonomics over the Lumix. They're pretty much the same. So you have to hold it sort of like this. Your pinky's loose. Now, if Lumix would, or even Sony or any of them cameras, make a grip for this where you can add 2 batteries and then be able to shoot this way, or else you have to shoot like this. So now I'm shooting my subjects and I have to flip over and lose my, or I have to do this and shoot this way. Or if you're lefty, you have to go here. Now you can't see anything on this side. If you leave your one eye open. If you're righty, okay, you can see, but you're still kind of off balance because this arm is, is wiggling. Where if you had a grip, like on the Canon, it has a trigger here, so you can hold the camera like this. You're the tripod. You're holding the camera steady. So you can hold the camera like this and be steadier with the, with the lens. Naturally, this has great image stabilization. It works really good. Even at full zoom, it works great. I saw Sony reviews and that even works really well. But I'm sure that you would get much better stabilization with a grip under here that you can have. It would add a little more weight to it, but I would prefer the extra weight to have the extra grip and the extra battery life. So even if they would, they would allow you to have 2 batteries, you can go out in the field with 4 batteries and not worry about losing battery. Or even let's say you had this on some kind of a rig and this was covered, you'd have to take the whole camera apart, or have it on have more weight, have it on a quick release and all that stuff just to get one little battery out. I'm not sure if you can actually get AC power out of this. I know like on my AX33 I can, and that's really good. But you're not gonna be out in the field with a power supply, with a power cord. You're not gonna do that. So if Lumix really wants, and Sony wants to make an accessory for this camera, which is a must, it's make a grip. Make something that will go under here that you can control the camera this way and shoot, like this, and shoot this way, and change the batteries. And even like maybe even put the card in here. Well, the card easily goes in here. I heard like on YouTube from the reviews that a lot of people don't like how the card slot in the Sony is situated, where I've even seen people kind of like pinch it out. When in this model, the FZ2500 or 2000, you can see the card slot. You have plenty of room to put your fingers in and just pull it out. I mean, it seems like they have enough room here to put 2 cards. But then you say to yourself, what is the point of them having 2 cards if you only have 1 battery? Give you 256 worth of shooting in 4K with 1 battery. I mean, how long is that gonna last? So you're gonna have to cut the film anyway. You're gonna have to cut your shooting down regardless if you don't have the battery power to support these giant cards. But if they gave you the 2 battery option, that would go in, and this battery door comes off. Maybe out there is a battery grip, because this is the battery, so the battery grip would go in here like my Canon, and then this door would come out and get tucked away. You put it away, and then you would have 2 of these batteries, or 4 or 6, and you can use 2 at a time. You would have double the battery life, which would give you, you know, the ability to use up more card while you're shooting. So if you're shooting, you know, in 4K, 2 hours, 3 hours worth of shooting with 2 batteries in 4K. You know, I'm just, you know, throwing that out there. And, you know, what else? You know, it has the hot shoe on top, which is really good, this camera. I mean, what else, you know, can I say good about it? I mean, this is a great camera. You know, it's lightweight, it's not that heavy. The zoom ring works really well, it's smooth. The focus ring works really good. You know, I like the square lens shade. I like that. You know, a lot of people were complaining about the lens cap, but you know, what are you gonna do? The other thing that I found while, you know, shooting with this is, you know, even like, let's say if I had a, you know, if I had a neck strap, you know, I would keep it around my neck, and usually all my cameras have neck straps. So I would keep it around my neck, but I was shooting this without a neck strap. And what I also have on my Canon is a hand strap. And this camera doesn't seem like you can put a hand strap because there's nowhere to put a hand strap under here. So if you're a type of person that doesn't like having straps because, you know, you want to put your camera on a tripod, and if it's a little windy out, the strap is going to give you motion. You know, it's going to bang against your tripod. You know, it's going to swing in the wind. You know, naturally you don't want that, right? I don't blame you. But, you know, if you had a hand strap on here and you had it around your hand, it would be a lot easier to hold because you would have more support having that hand strap. And even if you put your hand down, like if I step back and I would put my hand down like this, I don't have to worry about the camera slipping out of my hand because it's on a hand strap. You can get a lanyard and put it on here, but that's not the same thing. The only thing the lanyard is gonna do is, which everyone should have, something that was gonna hold the camera to your hand so you don't drop it. You know, it's either have a lanyard or they should somehow figure out a way to put a hand strap on here. And you can, you know, Velcro it down, or just like the Canon and the Nikons and all the SLRs, you know, have hand straps because you need that for grip. You know, especially like, you know, if you're gonna use this, you could probably shoot a wedding with this camera. You know, if you're good and you know how to use it and use all the functions, you could do a still wedding with this. You can. I mean, you know, there's people out there that shoot budget weddings, and hello, this is it right here. You could shoot a great wedding with this, you know, with a good flash, easily. I don't see why not. You know, I mean, the lens is 2.8. All my Canon lenses are 2.8. Okay, my 70-200 is 2.8, and my 24-70 is 2.8. My 17 to 28 is 2.8. This is 2.8, and then it goes out to I think 4.5, which isn't that bad. And if you have a good flash on here, you know, you can cover that, the 4.5. You know, especially like if you're indoors, you know, you don't really need that much, you know, zoom. So you could do it. I mean, you can. It's possible to shoot, you know, with a camera like this, a wedding. You know, you could probably shoot a wedding with a cell phone today. They're so good. And I want to try to do it. But what else? You know, these little buttons here are pretty cool, you know, for like fast shooting. And they work really good. I mean, the camera just fires off. This wheel here to change the functions inside the viewfinder is good, or to change the functions here is really good. The screen is beautiful. It's a beautiful screen. It's really well lit. It's really nice. You know, it's articulating. And like, again, you know, at a wedding, you go like this. This could even be a B camera for a wedding. You know, you hold it up, everybody's dancing, you rack this out to 2.8, and that's all I have at a wedding is 2.8. Hold it up, you have the flash on, and just boom, 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 all the way around. The other way, if I had my, if I had my, with my 5D, I don't have an articulating screen. Even with the Sony to come out, I would have to, know, let's say, whatever, with dancing shots, right? I would have to kind of like, look up like that. Now I could pretty much tilt the camera this way, go like this, and I could like watch everything around me, without just looking at my camera and guessing on the shot. I will get way better shots. And this lens, I mean, it's wide enough. It's, I think it's 24, which isn't bad. 18 is better. Like if you're doing, candid shots at the reception or whatever, because you need to be up close, get more wider shots. But, for a B camera, even, depending on what you're doing, this could be, an SLR. That's what they're trying to sell you when they sell you this. It's an SLR look alike with a built-in lens, and that's why they call it a hybrid. This is a mirrorless camera. That's the other thing. These have, there's no, I don't think there's a shutter in here because this thing is silent. I put this on silent mode because when you're outside and you want to try to shoot wildlife, you don't want to click, 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 click. You want to just have complete silence, and when you hit the shutter, it doesn't make any noise at all. The flash, it's good to have a built-in flash, because if you're gonna go out and you're not shooting a job, you're not gonna use this. You need power. If you're gonna light up a room, you need power. If you're gonna light up 14, 20 people, you need power. You're not gonna light up 14 people with this. The thing too is flash exposure. I'm not really sure how the flash exposure works on the flash. Like if I put an external flash, does this only sync at a 60th of a second? I gotta look into that. Does it only sync at 1/25th or 2/50th? I mean, you can see like the screen. I mean, it's really nice. It's a really nice screen. The other nice thing about it is that this camera opens up like this, and this doesn't move. This barrel here doesn't move. So when you focus, it focuses on the inside, which is really nice. So you don't have that noise. If you can hear, I mean, I'm gonna zoom out. I mean, that's pretty quiet. That's pretty quiet. I mean, this is a fantastic camera. Lumix, Panasonic, have always made good video cameras, and if you buy this camera, you're not going to be unhappy with it because you have a lot of features that are going to really produce excellent images for you with this camera. I think the Sony, the way it works is the barrel moves in and out. I don't know how, and that's probably why it's so much heavier than this camera. This is John. I hope this video was helpful. And what I think about the Lumix, I love this camera. There's just those things I would want is the ability to put a hand strap on here, a better button to shoot the video with, a battery grip so I can put 2 batteries in, and then I believe that and the ability to if I shoot vertical, I can shoot this way with the battery grip, so I have more controls here. And maybe even aftermarket company can make one for that, for this camera. And pretty much I think that's it. I think the camera works good. It's quiet. It has the ND filter. Never take that off. It has a lot of function buttons. Maybe I haven't looked into the camera enough to reassign this button to perhaps for the video. But I really like this camera, and I think the Sony's a nice camera too. And the only thing the Sony needs is the ND filter, a flip out screen, and the same thing, and a battery grip. So you can put a hand strap on it with a strap or no strap hand strap. And these cameras are gonna be unbeatable because they're very good cameras. I mean, these lenses are excellent. They're good, they're sharp. They're fine for what you're gonna do with these. And I'm sure a lot of people shoot professional work with this and no one will ever know that they use this. But this is John, and I just wanna thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. The subscribers are going up slowly. So if you like to subscribe, please subscribe. And this is John from FrancoVision with a review of this Lumix FZ2500. And thanks again. Peace out.